got my Starbucks. I'm sitting here at the Starbucks parking lot. Trying to remember what I've already told you and what I have not. Let me give you what's gone on throughout the night. As you all know from my last Manger hotel visit, I showed all my new equipment that I have. With the new equipment that I have, I was telling everyone that with the spirit board, I was getting a lot of RLT. I'm actually getting a whole lot more, but I do understand a little bit more about the spirit board now. It's giving me a little bit more and a little bit more as I kind of get a little bit more intimate with the spirit board. The spirit board is one of those things. I figured because there is a way to manipulate dowsing rods, so I never want to mislead my viewers into thinking that dowsing rods are for finding water, talking to spirits, or what. I'm still trying to learn how to use my dowsing rods. With that being said, I'm going to do the same thing that I'm doing with my spirit board. I'm going to be a little bit intimate with it. I'm going to use my dowsing rods today for a little bit of guidance. Not for answers, not for a direct location, just guidance. So if you all see me in the video using the dowsing rods, I'll probably put music over it because I don't want to hear the questions that are asked right now. Because I'm just trying to be a little bit more intimate with this equipment, just because it's something that I don't know exactly how to use yet. So bear with me on that. So now that I've caught you all up with that, let's head out to Arlington. If everyone remembers my video of the Treaty of Birds Fort, you'll remember me coming down this hill to show you that hill way out over there. I don't know if I was able to capture it. I'm gonna pull into this park here. I'm gonna go find me a little bench, probably one that I've sat on before, because I'm gonna bring my dowsing rods for one. I need to do a little setup on my tripod so I can talk to you all. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, where are we at today? We're at one of the 3 spots on River Legacy Park. Of course, there's a lot of history around this area. One of the things that we've done is we found the Screaming Bridge. We've also found Hell's Gate. And then, of course, we've also discussed Birds Fort and about the treaty that was signed at Birds Fort. What we're going to discuss and try to find today is a place called Marrow Bone Springs. Yeah, I don't know exactly where it's at. I've never been there. I feel so uncomfortable because I'm using a tripod for once and I don't have a camera in my hand. Is that weird? I don't know. What I'm wanting to do is trying to get a feel of what Birds Fort was all about. And as I told y'all, I'm going to be using my dowsing rods. I don't want you all to hear the questions that I ask, because I kind of feel like the dowsing rods are going to kind of give me the clarification a little bit, at least within my own beliefs, if I'm getting the correct evidence that I want to get out of this. Later on, I will be using a spirit box, and here in a moment I'm actually going to go over some dates that are very important. Now, I will be reading from a script, that I've written. That's okay, I usually don't, but why not? I mean, this here, the script is more written to the fact that I want to give you guys the facts that I've learned through reading about this. There are some important dates and there are some important names. I want to mention these names because later on I'm going to run a spirit box if I can find Marrow Bone Springs. See if any of the names come out, and this is going to start leading me to a direction that I can actually give you all as far as part of this history. So some of the dates that I have written down here that are supposedly important to this Marrow Bone Spring spot was September the 28th, 1843. This was when the Indian Council was held at Marrow Bone Spring, not Bird's Fort. On September 29th, 1843, held the first Indian Peace Council at Marrow Bone Spring. Now, just on a note here, just to let everyone know, I do believe that the treaty at Bird's Fort is where the treaty was signed. Now, before signing it, they had to have an agreement on it with the Indians and, of course, General Tarrant and President Sam Houston at that time. With some more dates, we got March 6th of 1845. I don't know who President Anson Jones is. I don't know what president he's over, but he granted a license to Matthias Travis to establish a trading house on the South Fork on the Trinity River. On April the 2nd, 1845, a letter from Thomas G. Western to Colonel L.H. Williams was sent. On April the 3rd, 1845, a letter from T.J. Western to S.W. Kellogg was sent. On April the 29th, 1845, T.G. Western sent the letter to Benjamin Sloat and Lieutenant Williams. Now, this is the big date, which is July 10th, 1845. It was the first recorded mail sent from the trading post number 1 to Thomas G. Western. Because this is actually telling me that it's the first trading post mail that was sent to and received from, and it happens to be after the dates that I've mentioned just a little while ago, but it was the first original mail sent from trading post number 1 to Thomas G. Western. September 9th, 1845, a letter from Isaac C. Spence to Thomas G. Western. So remember, we're going back to pretty much the Republic of Texas right before succeeding to the United States. We're just getting into some dates about the way that the history was done here in the Republic of Texas before the treaty and after the treaty also. I want to make sure that I'm putting that in there. It's before and after the treaty was signed. On February 16th, 1846, Texas was admitted to the United States. That doesn't mean that we succeeded yet. That just means that we were admitted and we were thought of as a state. In July 31st of 1846, the first entrapment between Ranger Station and Johnson Station had started. There are a lot of notable names that I'm going to read out that we need to make sure that we know, because whenever I run the spirit box, we want to know if that might be the person that we're going to be talking to later. There's a lot of them. I apologize, but I'm going to go through them just because we need to. If I just say, hey, that person was in my notes, I didn't say it before the spirit box said it, so ain't nobody going to believe me. Ain't nobody probably believe me anyway, but I'm giving it a try, right? So these names, let's get them started. That way we can get through them. Now, please do understand that some of these are Indian names and I may butcher the names. The first name on here is John Henry Brown. Of course, we're always going to look for General Tarrant. And then there was also General Carroll, an R.I. Gilchrist, a B. Booth. Now, a lot of these have initials, so I don't know their first names. An L. Williams, Sam B. Marshall. Roasting year, we're looking for something that's maybe said like Delaware. For roasting year, McCullough, James St. Louis, Ishtuekatubbee, which is from the Chickasaw Nation. Occoquash, Shorttail is the nickname, from Waco. Kachi-Karokwa, which means stubborn, is from the Tawakoni tribe. Katiatic is from the Kichi tribe. Red Bear is from the Caddo tribe. Vencha, which means bird's eye, is also from the Caddo trail. Hadadaba, I'm butchering that one. Hadaba is also a Caddo. Jose Maria, which means Aish, it's from the Anadarko tribe. Toa-Ash is from the Iona tribe. Hoyotubby, which is from the Biloxi tribe. Chicken Trotter was the Cherokee captain. James Shaw, Louis Sanchez, Chawani, Pierce Sabi. Then we have, looking also for a name called Choctaw Tom, a Tory, a LaSalle, a Nika, a Sagent, a Leotot, Heinz, Duhot, Dumarl, Musner, Maragent, Matthias, Travis, Thomas G. Western, L.H. Williams, Benjamin Sloat, Isaac C. Spence, T.I. Smith, of course Sam Houston, Andrew Stapp, it's actually Andrew Stapp, J.P. Henderson, T.I. Fauntleroy, and Colonel Harney. These are the mentionable names that we'll be looking for when we run the spirit box after a while when we get to Marrow Bone Spring. As I said, I'm going to use these dowsing rods and I'm going to look for the location. It's time for music. you didn't know, it's about 8:30 in the morning here in Arlington, Texas. I would say 8:45. Could 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I don't know. But it's hot as out here. Now that I've done this, I am ready to go to my next part of this video. Okay everyone, what I've actually done is I've found the spring to the Marrow Bone. This was the spring on this side. It would be south of the intersection of Arkansas and Cooper, which is what that is right there. And everything from this side for 1/10 of a mile, which I'm not even 1/10 of a mile in, and this would be the spring for it. And as you see here, no trespassing on city property. Of course we won't do that, but I just wanted to kind of show y'all that I did find the spring of this. So with that said, I'm going to keep this in mind of maybe coming back here to do the spirit box, or maybe we'll go further down to some of the other areas that we're looking for to run the spirit box. We'll find out. I've actually found this place, and I know that I have because it's even marked. It's just like in the book I read, because it's talking about rocks like this. You can see like some where the ladies used to hit their corn and stuff like that. That's what these are for. These have always been here, the rocks. But I just want everybody to see that without the address, I found it. Here it is. Johnson Creek Greenway, Marrow Bone Spring Park. So wouldn't you have it? I'm gonna stop right now, and I'm actually going to do a thumbnail for this. Well, I think I've seen what it's talking about. Here's some more stones. There is the creek bed itself. Now where we were at first was where it all originated from. Look at that down there. Wow. Kind of comes out from over here. You guys saw what I saw. Let's go look at this rock here. We can probably drive right through this. This might be where I come back and do the spirit box. I'll tell you why here in a minute. But right here we got these rocks. This is, like I said, about the corn. It's weird. But then we're going to take a drive through this here in a minute. But I'm also going to kind of give a focus out in that direction once I get closer to the car. I think I heard, or I think I read something about the cemetery over here. I don't know anything about the cemetery. I'm going to have to do some more research in it. The cemetery lies right across the street, catty-cornered right over there. Interesting concept to be able to do a spirit box session. But there is a couple more places I want to stop before coming back here. I'm not sure. I've heard of Johnson Station, but I don't know what reference it is to our Texas history. But there used to be a Johnson. It was a company really, but they called them Johnson Station. And this was one of the first letters that was ever received in this change whenever the treaty was signed and everything, and they were trying to build a new city called Arlington, which is now Old City called Arlington. But we're at least able to see where Johnson's house was. Now his house is no longer intact. You can only imagine what a house would have looked like in 1856. But you cannot get on these grounds. Let me show you. It even tells you not to park here, even though I will. But every one of these signs says no trespassing. You see that? No trespassing. All this used to be the place where Johnson's home was. So I definitely won't be doing the spirit box session here. Not that I even think that that matters. But this is just the home of where he is. I have one more place I think I have to go try to find, and I'll be right back with you. Everyone, be patient with me here. I'm going to find this. I've been working on this vlog already for 2 hours. Almost done. Of course, it's not going to be a 2-hour vlog. I got a lot of cutting to do. I also have some math to do. So I have to use my mileage to set and go back to the spring to where we first were and find out what is halfway between there, so I can show you where the ranger station was. So let's go find the ranger station, or where it would have been. So wouldn't you have it, either a land that is roped off, no trespassing, or some kind of park that makes sense with what I'm saying. Let me show you here. Johnson Creek Greenway Bob Duncan Center, Vandergrift Park. This park out in that direction was where the ranger station was. With that being said, as we drive back over to the rocks, the Marrow Bone section, all of this was the first trading post that was legal, that had requirements through the mail in the state of Texas. It was their way of mailing things. Remember, back when we had the war won on the Mexican army, when I say we, Texans, had the war won on the Mexican army, we were able to only do trading because we didn't have a Texas monetary system. That is one of the big reasons why we succeeded to the United States of America. With that said, let's take a drive around, if we can, through this Bob Duncan Center of Johnson Creek Greenway and see if maybe there's some kind of like little old housing thing. I'm doubting it, because I mean, you're talking well over 100 years old. And if that is the case, I doubt that it'd be here. So let's just take a drive through. Finally, what I'd like to say is think about a little bit about what I'm doing. in some kind of city, when you see parks and such, whether you reside in that city or you visit that city, I'm visiting the city, but I'm gonna have to do more research around where I live, around some of the smaller suburb cities, to find out what I can get as far as history on it. Do you know the history of your park? Do you know the history of your area? And we're not going back to 20, 30, 40, 50, even 100 years. We're going back to the 1800s here in Arlington. Just give a thought to that. Now we're going back to the Marrow Bone section, and we're going to do a spirit box there. I feel like we'll get a lot more, and maybe one of those names I'd mentioned before. Before I do that, I want to bring out I'm gonna go back to the parking lot of this park, and I want to bring out my dowsing rods one more time and play with them. I'm having a feeling my success here had to do with something to do with the dowsing rods that I'd done over there at the other place. I'm going over here, I'm gonna park. I'm probably just gonna do the dowsing rods in the car. I don't feel like there's any reason why I should do anything different. Hang tight. Now, one last drive through. Let's go ahead and take a drive back to the Marrow Bone section. We'll do the final investigation part of this, which is the spirit box. And then I want to show y'all on the way over there. These are where all these trading posts. A trading post would have probably been like some kind of flea market type thing that people could have came out and traded certain things, food. I don't know all kinds of things that they would have done back in that time, but yes, let's go ahead and give that a little whirl as we drive to the Marrow Bone section. It happened on both sides of this road right here. If you're watching this and you're saying, Brian, it's the next day, truth be told, if it looks like I look the same, it's because I have two of these shirts. I'm wearing the second one today. Of course, I wear my gray cap, and I didn't finish the part of the video that was important to me about doing this part, which is the spirit box session. So I'm going to go ahead and head back out to Arlington today and finish that so I can edit this video, put it up, and get it out for you all. See you at Marrow Bone Springs. Okay everyone, final segment. I'm here at Marrow Bone Springs. This is where I took us everybody yesterday, and now I want to run the spirit box. I'm probably going to run it for about 7 minutes, so I'm actually going to start the car here, that way I get a time. So I'm gonna start it at 2:28, and I'm gonna let it run till 2:35. 2:28 now. My name is Brian. I mean no harm. You know I'm not. But I'm gonna let you all talk, because I'm looking for some names. You all saw me yesterday with my rods, my dowsing rods. So if I can I get some names of some Indians or some history people?
Bow, bow, bow.
What can y'all tell me about Marrow Bone Springs? This is y'all's time, so I'm letting y'all speak. What about the treaty? Is this where y'all agreed to do it? Do y'all remember smoking the pipe of peace? How about corn? This is where the ladies used to get their corn, isn't it? On these rocks? Is there Indian tribes that I know? Red Bear is from the Caddo tribe. Agnes? I don't think that was name. Y'all have 1 minute to speak and then I have to shut this spirit box off. Y'all must stay here and y'all cannot come with me. I command that. Okay, this is where I have to stop. You must stay here. Thank everybody for talking to me.